If anyone has any prayer requests, put it in the comment section and I'll pray over it. This message is part 1 on the series of Moses leading Israel out of Egypt. Of course, this particular message will only barely cover Moses, because I'm going to start with Joseph. During the Hyksos dynasty, most likely under Kion, Joseph saved Egypt and his family from famine. The very word Hyksos means ruler of foreign lands. This was during a time when Egypt was divided. There was the Upper Egypt, which was in the south, and Lower Egypt, which was in the north, or Nile Delta. The Hyksos ruled Lower Egypt, which explains why Joseph, a Hebrew, could rise to power, because they themselves were foreigners and welcomed the Semite people. After Joseph died and his generation died out, the Hyksos dynasty was overthrown, and a new pharaoh rose and united Egypt under native Egyptian rule. Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. The Hebrew word yada, which is the word for know, is translated to know. It actually means acknowledge, recognize, or honor, not just be aware of. There are 2 reasons the Pharaoh refused to acknowledge Joseph. First, he wanted to erase the policies of the dynasty before him. Second, he was against the idea of foreigners holding power. So he enslaved the Hebrews. Later, that dynasty fell and another arose. Many people assume that this was Ramses' dynasty, but it wasn't, because Ramses II died of natural causes and not from drowning. His timeline is 130 years too late. The city named Ramses in Exodus is a scribal update, not the original name. The original name of the city was Avarius. Scribes updated the name centuries later so readers would know the location. This is the same reason a lot of times I will say, when I'm talking about Persia, I will call it Iran, because what was known as Persia back then is now known as Iran, even though they didn't start calling it Iran until 1935. History points to Thutmose III and his son Amenhotep II. I'm not good at pronouncing names, by the way. Thutmose was known for aggressive military expansion. He held at least 16 military campaigns in 20 years. His massive building projects, using forced labor, his fear of foreign populations, and making cities out of bricks. This matches the later described in Exodus 1. Under Thutmose III and his son, Egypt became a military superpower. And their fear of foreign populations led directly to what was described in Exodus 1. Exodus chapter 1, starting at verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spoke of the Hebrew midwives, which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other was Puah. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then you shall kill him, and if it be a daughter, then she shall live. And the midwives feared God, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives, and said unto them, why have you done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwife said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Therefore God dealt with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born you shall cast into the river, and every daughter you shall save alive. Israel was crushed under the weight of slavery, fear, and death. And at this point, Israel needed a deliverer, and that deliverer will come through a man named Moses. By this point, Israel was groaning. Some had given up hope. But God had not forgotten them. You may be in a difficult place, but remember that when all hope is gone, God is writing the next chapter. Have a Jesus-filled week. If it be the good Lord's will, I'll be back on here Saturday evening.